When you're learning how to light, it can be kind of confusing to know when you should use hard light, when you should use soft light, but what if I told you there was a way to do both? Up until this point in my career, I haven't had any exposure to anything other than LED monolights. Like I haven't used any tungsten lights or LED panel lights. That is until I used the new Nova II 9° and the Nova II 1x1. I asked myself, why haven't I used these type of lights before and why haven't I seen them on sets that I worked on? Because for the last 10 years or so, people have been using the RE Sky panels in the older versions of the Aputure Novas, and I haven't really had exposure to any of that. The reason why monolights are so popular is that they're easily modified because it's just super easy to pop up a parabolic softbox and attach it to the bones mount, and panel lights typically don't have that. So the question really is, what is useful about panel lights and who are they for? I wanted to find out if I can actually use panel lights over monolights, so I took them out to a couple different sets to test it out for myself to see if these were actually something I'd be interested in. I wanted to challenge myself by bringing out the 1x1 and the 9° to actually use them on real sets to see if I would like them over monolights. When I first got these lights, I knew they both had their own use cases. The Nova 1x1 is a 500-watt light panel fixture, and it's basically a half Nova. It's got all the same features as the Nova II 2x1, but it's half the size and a little bit more versatile because of its footprint. And just like all of Aputure's new lights, it has Blare CG, which makes it a super versatile key light. It's some of the other key features the Nova II has. It has an extremely wide CCT range of 1800 Kelvin to 20,000 Kelvin. It's super bright, coming in at 108,200 lux at 3.3 feet, is IP65 water resistant. It has a super quiet fan that you can't even hear right now as I'm talking, even though the microphone's right here and the light's right there. It has onboard DMX, CRMX, ArtLink, and Sidus Link. And like I said earlier, because it can't have a bones mount, instead it has a quick clip front mount system, which I actually enjoyed using a lot. Basically how it works, it has these two little tabs on the sides, which you can pull off and add diffusion in basically seconds. And my thought process behind using the Nova 1x1 is it makes for a really versatile key light. Because it's so small, you would use it in situations like you would use a light mat like an F22C, but instead, using the Nova 1x1, because it has Blare, will give you much richer skin tones and colors. That, and because the Nova 1x1 actually has a dedicated softbox for it, it makes for a really soft, versatile, and color accurate key light. And I like it so much that I'm actually using it as a key light right now. But now it's time to talk about my favorite panel light, the Nova II 9°. The Nova 9°, like it says in its name, is the same as the other Novas, except for it has a super narrow beam angle of 9 degrees. And what makes the Nova 9° one of my favorite lights is that you can actually soften it up by putting the flat or the dome diffuser on, and then when you want hard light again, you just quickly take it right off. It's been my go-to light to throw outside to get naturally looking hard light coming through the window. And if you haven't noticed already, I'm actually using the Nova 9° right outside this window. I wanted to show the power of the Novas by using them in this setup because I wanted to show that you can actually use panel lights instead of monolights to get similar results. So to show you what these lights are doing, I have the Nova 1x1 with the softbox, which is acting as my key light. And then over back there, I have the Nova 9° outside, which is lighting up the entire back wall and the plant and the windows. So if I didn't have them, I would just be in the dark, and you can kind of recreate a daylight ambient look inside with just those two lights. But I also cheated and I put the ADC over there just to fill in the shadow side a little bit. So who are these lights for? And if you're looking to pick up a panel light, which one do you buy? I would get the Nova 1x1 if you shoot things like YouTube videos or interviews or corporate work and you need one small, versatile, color accurate, soft or hard light that does absolutely everything. But if you're filming things like narrative work or commercial work or even music videos, I would look at the Nova 9°. It's a little bit bigger and heavier than the Nova 1x1, but the trade-off is that you get that 9° beam angle, which makes it the perfect hard source. And if you want to, you can soften it up a little bit by using the diffuser or bouncing it or even diffusing it with a rag. And the 9° is definitely one of the most versatile lights I've ever used, being able to do almost anything a monolight can do. And because these lights are fully RGB, you can actually use Sidus Link to program these lights to get almost any color and do almost any effect you want, which allows you to be unlimitedly creative in how you light your scene. So the final takeaways here is the Nova 1x1 is amazing, versatile, small little panel light that's super color accurate. Meanwhile, the Nova 9°, which is quickly becoming my favorite light of all time, you can use as a hard source outside, or you can soften it up, bring it inside, boost levels in the room, do almost anything you want with it. I've been using the Nova IIs for a couple months now, and it's not to say that I'm not using monolights, but there's something to be said about using panel lights and just being able to be so versatile with them by throwing them on a combo stand, not having to worry about a ballast like a monolight. And it's just a different world that I'm opening up to, and I want to dive deeper into how to actually use these lights by using Sidus Link and programming different color effects and being more creative with color in the future. I think no matter where you are in your filmmaking career, whether you're a content creator or a full-fledged DP or gaffer, I think panel lights have their place and something more people should embrace because they're really so versatile. Whether you're using them as a hard source or soft source, or putting a softbox on them, or blasting them through diffusion or bouncing, panel lights are amazing. I wanted to shout out Aputure real quick for sending me the Nova IIs. They're by far becoming one of my favorite lights in my toolkit, and I can't wait to dive more into them in the future. And thank you guys so much for watching, it really means a lot to me, and I'll see you in the next video.